All right, today I want to talk to you a little bit more detail about soda or pop, and here's just a real quick graphic, based upon the term that is used. Some people call it soda, some people call it pop, and so as you see here on the map, for the most part, this is some surveys that was done a few years ago. That those that you see here in the yellow are the parts of the country that call it pop, and those that are in the blue areas here are the places that call it soda. And then, believe it or not, this little purple or fuchsia color down here in the south, they call it Coke. Everything is Coke, even Sprite. They call Coke. And so, just a kind of a fun little thing to get us started here with talking about pop. They say that pop is the biggest source of calories in the American diet, meaning that we in the United States get more calories from pop than from any other single source. And that's really kind of sad once you take a look at how bad pop can be for us. They say it's 13% of the diet for the teenagers. That's nearly 1/6 of your diet comes from pop for the average teenager. Again, that's just way too many calories for that, or too many. Too big a percent for the pop to be that big of a source. Uh, the average 12-ounce pop has nine teaspoons of sugar, so that's a 12-ounce can. The 20-ounce, which is usually what the bottles are now that they sell in the machines, that has 16 teaspoons of sugar. It is recommended that for men, the average man only has 9 teaspoons, the average woman 6 teaspoons. So you can see that just drinking that one can of pop has already got you at that limit or over the limit already. As we mentioned the other day in the one video, it also is a replacement for other nutritional drinks as opposed to a supplement, which is still not healthy, but we have a tendency to replace it rather than supplement. Pop has been associated with these diseases: diabetes, heart disease, stroke, cancer, osteoporosis, kidney stones, just to only name a few. There's others that are associated with pop as well. One of the issues with many pops is the caffeine, and especially if you're a person with hyperactivity issues, caffeine can definitely be detrimental to those hyperactivity issues, and so caffeine is another issue to be dealt with when it comes to pop. Carbonation is a slight issue. When you open a pop and you hear that fizz that comes out, most of that carbonation actually escapes when you do that. So a lot of people used to say that carbonation, the carbonation replaces the oxygen on your red blood cells, and I can't say that that's not true, because it does happen, but it's not nearly as strong an effect as they tried to sell it several years ago. So again, does it replace the oxygen on your red blood cells? Yes. So will it cause you to have less oxygen in your body? Yes. But the amount is almost minimal. We talked about the other day, your pH is supposed to be 7.1 to 7.5, slightly basic. One can of pop, the average can of pop, is actually 3.0 on the pH scale. So it's again, more than halfway towards this completely acid, as opposed to the neutral, what we're supposed to be. Colas are at 2.5, so it's more than halfway towards the complete acid. And again, this is what we're putting into our bodies. Now, believe it or not, you can neutralize the acidic damage of pop by drinking 32 glasses of alkaline water. And when I say glasses, that's 32 8-ounce glasses, 32 8-ounce cups of alkaline water, and you can neutralize the effects of one 12-ounce can of pop. So if you want to have your pop and be healthy, that's a way to do it. But that's an awful lot of water. I'm sorry, so here it is. Here's the drink in those 32 glasses of water at a pH of 9, and now you can get that neutralization of the acidic properties. One of the dangers of drinking this pop is the fact that to neutralize the acidic nature, your body has to neutralize the acids. And so it actually will pull calcium out of your bones. All right, so that's what should be in this blank here, is calcium. All right, so it will do it by pulling the calcium out of the bone. And I got a true story I'm going to tell you, and then we'll be done for the day with this video. And it's about a 26-year-old construction worker that went to work one day, and as he's going over, and they were putting a roof on a house for this particular job, and his job that morning was to take the bundle of shingles from the ground climb up a ladder and put the bundle of shingles up on the roof for the guys on the roof that were doing the work up there. So he picks up a 70-pound pack of shingles, goes over to the ladder, puts his foot up on the first rung, and because it was morning, the grass was wet, and so his foot slips off the rung and he falls right back down to the ground. Now that's about a 7-inch step. All right, so it's not a big step, but a 7-inch step. As soon as he fell to the ground, those 7 inches, he just started screaming in pain. And he started screaming because he injured his ankles. So his buddies run over to him and they're, trying to help him to his feet and see if they can get him, to, get it all worked out and, maybe walk it off or something like that. Well, he can't even stand up. So eventually they call an ambulance. The ambulance come and the paramedics, kind of put the braces on him, thinking that maybe he broke one ankle or both ankles. And so they ship him in the ambulance over to the hospital. And when they get to the hospital, again, they're thinking it was a break. So they stick him in the x-ray machine to find out where the break is so they know how to set the bone. Well, when the radiologist comes back with the x-ray, nothing showed up on the x-ray. It was a blank x-ray. Well, they thought the radiologist made a mistake, so they stuck him back in the x-ray machine again, took another x-ray. This time, the same thing happened. He had no outline of a bone, no picture of a bone, nothing was showing up. So they actually thought maybe for a moment they're talking to a ghost here. This construction worker was a ghost of some sort. But they went in, they started talking to him, and they found out from talking with this construction worker that this construction worker drank an average of 12 cans of Coke every day. And because he was drinking so much Coke, in order to neutralize the acidic nature, it was literally pulling the calcium out of his bones. And when they did a bone density test on him, he had the bone density of a 98-year-old woman with a case of severe osteoporosis. And so here he is, a 26-year-old construction worker with the bone density of a 98-year-old woman. And obviously not very healthy, and so they had to get him on some big time therapy as far as cutting out his pop, as well as increasing his bone density and calcium and such, and then getting back to health. But it was a major struggle for him. So again, just a true story about how this pop is very detrimental to our bodies. So it's something that we need to avoid if at all possible.